Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. One of the unique traits of humans compared to other species is our ability to treat various health problems using different medicinal concoctions. Archaeological evidence from various dig sites shows that these healing efforts are as old as the tools humans created to aid their lives, like knives, axes, and other implements. In 2012, a study on 50,000-year-old skeletons from the El Castillo cave in northern Spain detected chemical and food traces on the teeth of 5 Neanderthals. The findings were quite surprising. Besides the animal drawings on the cave walls that showed their level of civilization, remnants of herbal plants were found on the Neanderthals' teeth: yarrow and chamomile. Both are bitter plants with little nutritional value. Researchers concluded that these herbs were consumed for their medicinal properties. Yarrow is often used for ailments like menstrual pain and stomachaches. Chamomile, on the other hand, is a known stimulant used for digestive issues. This discovery proves that even in prehistoric times, humans understood medicine to treat their health problems. So, since the dawn of human civilization, medicine has been a part of daily life. Excavations of ancient civilizations like Shanidar and Sumeria, around 3000 BC, and ancient Egypt, all show a knowledge of medicinal substances. This is well documented in stone carvings, papyrus scrolls, and more. Over the next millennium, the science of medicine returned to Europe, reaching its peak during the Roman Empire. Hippocrates, who lived around 425 BC, wrote about the causes of diseases and used over 200 types of plants for treatment. He is famously known as the father of medicine. Then Dioscorides, around 65 AD, compiled the Materia Medica, the first standard encyclopedia of medicines, which was used as a guide for hundreds of years. It described nearly 500 plants and medicines made from animals and plants, detailing how to prepare them. However, Europe then entered the Dark Ages, while nations in the Arabian Peninsula flourished under the Islamic Caliphate. Scientific knowledge, including medicine, shifted to the Arab world. One of the most famous Arab medical experts was Ali ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna. His renowned work, The Canon of Medicine, was used for centuries as a guide for modern medicine. The very first drugstores, or apothecaries, were established by Arabs in Baghdad during the 8th century. For the first time, various medicinal forms like syrups, elixirs, tablets, and sugar-coated pills became known. The Golden Age of Islam eventually ended with the fall of its last stronghold in Cordoba. The end of the Islamic era gave way to the Renaissance. During this period of enlightenment, the science of medicine developed rapidly. Chemical compounds from plants began to be discovered. As the profession of pharmacists, who prepared and compounded drugs, grew, King Frederick II issued a decree in 1231 known as the Salerno Edict. It contained 3 main points. First, that both doctors and pharmacists were appointed by the state. Second, that the price of medicine must be the same everywhere. And third, that a doctor could not also be a pharmacist, and vice versa. This edict became the foundation for the development of the pharmacy profession as we know it today. Shortly after, apothecaries began to spring up one by one as places for pharmacists to prepare medicines. One of the oldest apothecaries still in operation today is located right in the heart of an old city in Germany, Trier. Trier is on the border between Germany and Luxembourg. And that's why we came here a while ago to visit the oldest existing and operating apothecary in the world, the Lowen Apotheke in Trier, Germany. Here is the story of our journey. Historically, Trier is the oldest city in Germany. One of its most interesting features is the city's icon, a grand old black gate in the city center called the Porta Nigra. This black gate is said to be one of 4 remaining gates in Trier. Built in 186 AD during the Roman Empire, the Porta Nigra was the northern entrance to Trier. The Porta Alba was in the west, Porta Media in the south, and Porta Inclita in the east. In the Middle Ages, building materials like stone from these gates were reused for other constructions. The iron and copper in the walls were also repurposed. The Porta Nigra was once transformed into a church by a monk named Simeon, which is why it's also called Simeon College. However, when Napoleon Bonaparte took control of the area in 1804, he ordered the Porta Nigra to be restored to its original function as a city gate, just as it was in the Roman Empire. In 1986, this historic site was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, becoming the identity of Germany's oldest city. Trier is also the birthplace of the famous figure Karl Marx, who developed the theory of Marxism. Known as the father of socialism, Marx believed that conflicts between the upper and lower classes were driven by private ownership of goods and services. It's no wonder that Karl Marx is a role model and ideological figure for the people of the People's Republic of China, where he is considered a hero. China's tribute to Karl Marx is embodied in a statue specially designed by a Chinese artist. The 5.5-meter-tall statue reflects Karl Marx's birth date, May 5, 1818. Right in the city center, not far from the Porta Nigra, stands an elegant, ancient building that is a historic landmark in the development of the pharmacy profession, the Lowen Apotheke. The Lowen Apotheke was built just 10 years after the Edict of Salerno was issued by Emperor Frederick II. This decree formally separated the professions of doctor and pharmacist. The apothecary was established by the Secretariat of St. Thomas Church, named Friedrich on May 23, 1241. St. Thomas Church is an ancient church built around the 4th century, located right behind the apothecary. Initially, it was used to store wine, medical supplies, and various medicinal herbs. The important history and records of this apothecary are still neatly preserved. Even the changes in the apothecary's name, from its original Apotheca Sita Superfacitum to its current name Lowen Apotheke, used since 1890, are well documented. Even the names of its pharmacists are still on record. Wow. Since the 1600s, this apothecary has been owned by a single family, passed down through generations. The current owners are a pharmacist couple, Dr. Elizabeth Schmiz and her husband, Dr. Med Claus. Unfortunately, we visited during the Christmas holiday and couldn't meet them. They are said to be very friendly and kind. The apothecary will reportedly be passed on to their daughter, Lazi Schmiz Rassler, who is also a pharmacist. From online searches, here's a look inside the apothecary. It has been transformed into a very modern pharmacy, but hasn't forgotten its long, rich history. The owner, Dr. Elizabeth Schmiz, is very dedicated to her profession. As the owner of such a historic apothecary, Lowen Apotheke refuses to follow the trend of chain pharmacies with huge capital. Dr. Schmiz believes that every apothecary should remain owned by a pharmacist, as is the law in Germany to maintain professionalism as a drug expert. The freezing cold meant we couldn't stay long, but our desire to visit this historic place was fulfilled. On another occasion, we also visited one of the oldest apothecaries in Vienna, Austria, the Heiligen Geist Pharmacy, founded in 1551, and a museum in Bratislava, Slovakia, the Pharmaceutic Museum, which holds a very valuable work, the writing of the famous pharmacist Philippus Aureolus Theophrastus Bombastus, better known as Paracelsus. The book titled Drit Defensio. In that book is a famous quote, Sola dosis facit venenum, which means the dose makes the poison. If not used correctly, medicine can become poison. So to ensure that medicine doesn't become a poison for your body, always ask your pharmacist about your medication. Ask about medicine. Ask a pharmacist. That was the story of our journey to one of the oldest apothecaries in the world, in the city of Trier, Germany. Thanks for watching this video.